Conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Conspiracy theories are often seen as wild tales, rooted in suspicion and lacking credible evidence. Many revolve around secret government plots, elite cover-ups, or manipulations of the public. While most remain unproven or outright false, there have been astonishing instances when these so-called conspiracies were ultimately validated by solid proof, often decades later. From secret psychological experiments to clandestine propaganda programs and cover-ups involving corporations, the following is a comprehensive exploration of conspiracy theories that were once dismissed but turned out to be rooted in reality. 1. MK-Ultra, mind control by the CIA. For years, rumors circulated about the CIA conducting mind control experiments on unsuspecting individuals. These claims were often ridiculed as paranoid fantasy. However, in the 1970s, a series of documents were declassified through the Freedom of Information Act that exposed the shocking truth. Project MK-Ultra was real and far more disturbing than many imagined. Beginning in the early 1950s and continuing into the 1970s, the CIA launched MK-Ultra to investigate whether drugs, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and other techniques could manipulate the human mind. LSD was administered to people without their consent, including prisoners, hospital patients, and even CIA employees. Some of these experiments resulted in long-term psychological damage, and at least one person, Frank Olson, died under suspicious circumstances after being secretly dosed with LSD. The revelations sparked public outrage and led to Senate hearings. The full extent of MK-Ultra remains obscured due to the destruction of many files by the CIA. Number 2. Tuskegee Syphilis Study. This dark chapter in American medical history involved a 40-year-long study by the U.S. Public Health Service that denied treatment to African-American men diagnosed with syphilis, all under the guise of receiving free health care. Initiated in 1932, the study involved 600 black men, 399 of whom had syphilis and 201 who did not. The participants were never told they had syphilis. Instead, they were told they had bad blood and were subjected to exams and placebos, even after penicillin became the accepted treatment for the disease in 1947. The government allowed these men to suffer and die, along with infecting their wives and passing the disease to children. The study was exposed by a whistleblower in 1972, triggering public condemnation and a class action lawsuit. In 1997, President Bill Clinton issued a formal apology on behalf of the U.S. government. Number 3. The FBI's COINTELPRO program. COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program, was a covert FBI operation targeting civil rights groups, anti-war activists, and various political organizations deemed subversive. For years, activists suspected the government was infiltrating their movements, but lacked hard proof. That changed in 1971, when a group of anti-war activists broke into an FBI office in Media, Pennsylvania. They stole documents that detailed COINTELPRO's mission to surveil, infiltrate, discredit, and disrupt organizations such as the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, the American Indian Movement, and even Martin Luther King Jr.'s Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Tactics included wiretapping, planting false media stories, and attempts to sow internal conflict. Congressional hearings followed, leading to increased oversight of intelligence agencies. 4. Operation Northwoods. In 1962, senior U.S. military leaders devised a plan to stage false flag terrorist attacks on American soil to justify war against Cuba. The proposed operations included hijacking planes, sinking boats of Cuban refugees, and bombing American cities, all to blame on Fidel Castro and build public support for military intervention. The plan, known as Operation Northwoods, was presented to Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara and President John F. Kennedy, who rejected it outright. The plan was declassified in the 1990s, shocking many with its bold and unethical nature. While never implemented, it highlighted how far elements within government were willing to go during the Cold War. Number 5. The Iran-Contra Affair. In the mid-1980s, rumors swirled that the U.S. government was selling weapons to Iran, a sworn enemy, and using the proceeds to fund the Contra rebels in Nicaragua. It seemed implausible and illegal, and yet it was true. The Reagan administration authorized secret arms sales to Iran despite an embargo, hoping to negotiate the release of American hostages held by Iranian-backed militants. The funds were then funneled to the Contras, violating a congressional ban known as the Boland Amendment. When the scandal broke, several high-ranking officials were convicted, though many had their sentences overturned or were later pardoned. The affair exemplified the dangers of unchecked executive power. 6. Big Tobacco. Knew smoking was deadly for decades. Tobacco companies insisted that smoking did not cause cancer and that nicotine was not addictive. Whistleblowers and internal documents revealed in the 1990s proved otherwise. Companies like Philip Morris, R.J. Reynolds, and others knew as early as the 1950s about the deadly effects of smoking. They not only concealed this information, but also launched aggressive PR campaigns to dispute medical research. They even targeted youth with flavored cigarettes and cartoon characters. The resulting lawsuits led to the 1998 Master Settlement Agreement, which imposed heavy financial penalties and advertising restrictions on the industry. Number 7. The NSA's mass surveillance revealed by Edward Snowden. Until 2013, widespread government surveillance of citizens was seen by many as a paranoid fantasy. That changed when Edward Snowden, a contractor for the National Security Agency, leaked a massive trove of classified documents. These files showed that the NSA was collecting metadata on phone calls, emails, and internet activity from millions of people globally, including American citizens, often without proper warrants. The revelations sparked global outrage and reignited debates about privacy, civil liberties, and national security. Snowden was charged under the Espionage Act and fled the US, eventually receiving asylum in Russia. His leaks prompted reforms to surveillance laws and greater scrutiny of intelligence agencies. Number 8. The Gulf of Tonkin Incident. The Vietnam War escalated after reports that North Vietnamese forces attacked US ships in the Gulf of Tonkin in 1964. These reports were used to pass the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, giving President Lyndon B. Johnson broad military powers. However, decades later, declassified intelligence revealed that the second attack, the primary justification for escalation, never actually happened. The incident had been exaggerated or misunderstood, reinforcing suspicions that the public had been misled to justify war. 9. Bohemian Grove. For years, Bohemian Grove was considered the stuff of legends, an exclusive gathering of the world's most powerful men in a redwood forest for secret rituals and networking. While the group claimed it was merely a retreat, the secrecy surrounding it invited speculation. In 2000, journalist Alex Jones infiltrated the gathering and filmed a bizarre ceremony called the Cremation of Care, adding fuel to the conspiracy fire. Former attendees have included presidents, Supreme Court justices, and global CEOs. Though there's no concrete evidence of sinister activities, the mere existence of such a powerful and secretive gathering has prompted legitimate concerns about transparency, lobbying, and backroom policymaking. Operation Mockingbird. During the Cold War, the CIA launched a program to influence domestic and foreign media called Operation Mockingbird. Journalists were recruited to disseminate propaganda and shape public opinion in favor of U.S. interests. Though details remain murky, investigations in the 1970s, including the Church Committee hearings, confirmed the program's existence. The revelations raised serious ethical questions about media manipulation and journalistic independence. 11. Manhattan Project. Before it became public knowledge in 1945, the Manhattan Project, the U.S. effort to build the atomic bomb, was one of the most secretive undertakings in history. Over 130,000 people were involved, and entire towns like Oak Ridge, Tennessee, were constructed to support it, all under intense secrecy. Despite rumors and some leaked information, the full scale and purpose of the project remained hidden until after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This demonstrates how large-scale, complex operations can indeed be kept secret. Final thoughts. Conspiracy theories must be approached with caution and critical thinking. Many are baseless, misleading, or even dangerous. Yet history shows that some conspiracies, once dismissed as irrational, were not only plausible, but proven true. The difference lies in evidence, transparency, and the relentless pursuit of truth. In a world where secrecy can coexist with power, staying informed and questioning responsibly remains more important than ever.